Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening,
Ms.
City
Abdo.
Council, Mayor, to our city attorney, to the deputy clerk, to all the administrative staff that's here in the audience, and also to the general audience, those that are here with us this evening, those that are viewing by our broadcast channel and or YouTube Live. Welcome to the City of Romulus City Council regular meeting, and today's date is Tuesday, December 27th. This is the last council meeting of the year. So members of the public that's wishing to participate in this meeting may do so under the public comment portion of the agenda. Please fill out a request to speak public comment card, which is located on the table in back of the chambers. Hand it to the deputy clerk. Additionally, members of the public who are viewing tonight's meeting via our broadcast channel or YouTube Live can submit their comments to publiccomment@romulusgov.com. Mr. Chair, roll call was taken at our special meeting at 6:30, and we do have a quorum for tonight's meeting.
Thank you, Madam
Regular
Clerk.
meeting. Tonight's regular meeting agenda is as follows. Number 1, agenda. Number 2, minutes. Number 3, petitioner. Number 4, chairperson's report. 5, mayor's report. 6, clerk's report. 7, treasurer's report. 8, public comment. 9, unfinished business. 10, new business. 11, warrant. 12, communication. And number 13, adjournment. And a motion will be in order to accept the regular council meeting agenda as presented.
So moved to accept the agenda as presented.
Support.
It's been motioned by Ms. Talley, supported by Ms. Abdo, for approval of agenda as presented. Ms. Talley,
Yes.
Ms. Abdo,
Yes.
Ms. Webb,
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth.
Yes.
Ms. Williams,
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
2A for approval are the minutes from the regular meeting held on Monday, December 12th, 2022 at 7:30 p.m.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Mr. Wadsworth.
I'm going to move that we approve the council meeting which was held on Monday, December the 12th at 7:30.
Support.
Been motioned by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Talley, for approval of the minutes from our regular held meeting, December the 12th at 7:30. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
2B for approval are the minutes from the special meeting study session held on Monday, December 12th, 2022 at 6 o'clock p.m. to discuss the local street presentation of status and the special meeting executive session held on Monday, December 12th, 2022 at 7 o'clock p.m. to discuss an attorney's opinion.
So moved.
Support.
It's been motioned by Ms. Webb, supported by Ms. Talley, for approval of the minutes from our special meeting, study session held on Monday, December the 12th, 6 o'clock p.m. to discuss local street presentation of status of the special meetings. Executive session held on Monday, December the 12th at 7 p.m. to discuss our attorney opinion. Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Number 3 is petitioner, and Mr. Chair and Council, we have, looks like 2 petitioners on the agenda this evening. Our first petitioner is Reverend Arthur Willis, and he would like to address council concerning the MLK Day Community March and road closure.
Okay. Reverend Willis?
Good afternoon, Mr. Mayor, City Attorney, Chair, and to all our councilmen and women, to our clerk, and to our treasurer in our absence, to you, my brothers and sisters in Christ that's watching us. We get ready to take up an offering. I'm sorry, that was the wrong meeting. No, Mr. Mayor. It's always a blessing to come before you and ask you to help us out in one of the greatest events that Romulus put on. And Romulus has, I would say, the best Martin Luther King celebration in all of Western Wayne County, if not the state of Michigan. We do the whole 9 yards. We march, we have a program, we have the dignitary come in, we always have participation from council people, our mayor always participated in it, so it's one of the great years. So we come to you once again asking for your permission to give us a permit to allow us to close the road. We'll be same route we've been taking each year. We won't do anything on Wayne Road this year. We're coming down Wake, now that we got it open, praise God, and now we turn right that tow line and go right in the back of the high school, so we don't have to go out to Wayne Road again this year. So it'll be all city roads, so actually let us marshal those on that day of the MLK celebration.
Any questions from council? Ms. Abdo?
Reverend, will you let me know if you need some student participation? I'm working with the National Honor Society again, and give me a call if you need kids.
Yes,
we'll see what we can do.
Definitely.
Okay?
Yes, definitely.
Any other comments from council? No.
One other thing on that, this year, one of our former students from Romulus High School graduated. In fact, most of you guys may know her, definitely her mom is Thunderbird. Her daughter wants to do a mitten drive, a hat drive during the same time. So there's going to be a box there at the school, both schools, and be able to use or new mittens. We like to put it in so she can give to the homeless or those kids that doesn't have gloves and scarves and hats. And certainly, you know, the weather was last week. If anything like last week, they're going to need those things. So if anybody out there would like to bring them, love to have them. Pick up something from the store would be great. If you're out shopping, you can't find anything to buy, just pick up one. We certainly would appreciate it for her doing that. We also wanted, this year we'll be starting again back at the middle school, and they are going to let us in the middle school this year, and we will have we have coffee and donuts for you, except for Reverend Tally. She can't have any. Everybody, we have donuts and we have coffee there for you. And then we'll march, and then we'll get to the high school, and there should be another breakfast there. Rotary's been doing a great job helping us out with our continental breakfast, and they're going to be participating again this year. So it's going to be a great event. And our guest speaker this year is really amazing because Senator Geis has been with us from the very beginning. It started with her husband. I mean, down through the year, their kids was very small when they first started, and now their kids are almost grown. And she's going to be our guest speaker this year. So we're looking forward to hearing what she has to say to us, bringing us a word from the Lord. So again, we're grateful for all the work that Ellen has been working on this so far, trying to get this together, and we're almost there. We just need your help and your approval. And I know, Mr. Mayor, you're always with us, so we certainly thank you for that.
Reverend Willis, I'd like to say that you and the committee and Ms. Braggs and everyone involved does a great job every year, and I agree with you 100%. It's one of the best Martin Luther King marches.
Thank you,
John?
sir.
Thank you. Yes, Mr. Wadsworth.
I think that we have to issue a no-fee permit for the road closure.
Yeah.
You know, for Reverend Willis and the Martin Luther King March that day.
Real quick question through the chair.
Yes, Ms. Talley.
Reverend Willis, where do the donations going to be? Where do people need to bring those?
They're going to be at the middle school. They bring in the morning, at the middle
Okay.
school or at the high school, either way.
It has to be during them hours?
Yeah, it'll be
Okay.
just during the time of the march. It'll be a-
They have a box?
Yeah, there'll be a box
Okay,
there.
thank you.
Yep. Thank you so much.
Okay.
A motion would be in order to approve the road closure request and also to have the MLK Community Day walk. So for the event and the road closure.
I'll make the motion for the event and the road closure and the no-fee permit.
Support.
Been motioned by Ms. Abdo, supported by Ms. Webb for road closure. And Ms. Webb? I mean, Ms. Abdo, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Yes.
Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes?
Ms. Talley?
Yeah.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you. Our second petitioner on the agenda This is a request for a speed bump installation and enforcement of no commercial vehicle posting. The petitioner is Frank Schad. Shout. And so also, council, just want to bring to your attention, you do have a response, a memo from our Assistant Director of Public Works, Kathy Hood. Also, you were handed a response from our Chief of Police, Chief Bonas. So you do have their responses with regards to this petitioner's request, as well as I want to point out Kathy Hood is in the audience as well if you have a question. So, Mr. Shout.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Franklin Shout. I live on Wick Road, which a few of us now like to refer as a real beautiful drag strip. I mean, we get cars up and down our street in excess of 60 miles an hour. You know, anywhere you go, you got a 35. I'm speaking into it.
Yeah, just a little
Best I
closer.
can, but you know as well as I do, anywhere you go, if you have 45 people do 50, 52, and you have a 35 going right down our street, and people are doing 45, 50, and we have to walk out to our mailboxes and get our mail. And when I've talked to these other people that are trying to help out, they've mentioned possibly putting the tattletale down there again. Works really good while it's there. I mean, the mice don't come in my house while my cats are there. But once the cat's out of the house, the mice feel free to come in, and they go right back to business as usual, flying down our street, and we're at danger. And they also say, we were told speed bumps might be a liability. Would myself or a kid at the school getting run over, wouldn't that be more of a liability? You know, if we don't cut it, before it starts? And usually it seems like that's how things get done, is after somebody gets hurt, we take action. Why don't we do something different this time and stop it before it happens? No commercial trucks, but 2 days after I talked to the lady that talked to me, there was a bobtail truck going right down Wick Road, and I followed him, and he was doing 55 miles an hour in a semi-truck. 14,000 trucks, our cars down our road in under 2 weeks. I've lived there for going on 6 years now. Up until this road, we didn't have 14,000 vehicles down our road, period. We got that in 2 weeks after they opened it. We gotta do something. Somebody's gonna get hurt out there. Lord forbid it be a kid. And yeah, we're right by the schools, no school zone, nothing. It's just everywhere else, the whole neighborhood is 25 miles an hour. We're at 35 and we got cars doing 50. And if you put the signs out again, it'll work while they're there, but man, when summer comes, we have a couple motorcycles that seem to think 150 mile an hour is logical. I don't. I ride a bike. I think that's gonna get someone killed. So, I mean, if we can do anything about it, which is the worst liability? A damn speed bump, somebody breaking the law and taking out their undercarriage, or a kid getting killed?
To the chair.
John,
Yes,
thank
Ms.
you.
Kelly, and then Mr.
Just real
Wadsworth.
quick, thanks,
Taylor.
and thank you for coming. I actually live on Wick Road as well. You on the west side of Wick Road?
Yes.
I'm on the east side of Wick Road, and so I didn't read all the responses from here, but, no, I feel your pain, because I would live on there too, like you said, going to get your mail, and I'm looking, because I want to make sure I don't get hit, so, and then since it's been all the work they've done on Wick Road, it just seemed like it's just been out of control, it's like, they was like, ooh, new, and people just racing, so,
Yes,
no,
not a
I feel
stop
your
sign,
concern.
Not one stop sign from Wayne all the way to Cogdor. I mean, it's a little slow down for the railroad track, but
Right.
after that, you got a real nice drag strip. And I actually, ladies and gentlemen, we've seen a car this summer come down the road at the end of the summer, just after this. He has wheelie bars, parachute, it's a drag strip, that's all it is. And you're going down Wick Road now, because that's a real nice place to light your cars up and have a real good time, man. At the expense of what,
No, thank you for coming forth. Thank you.
Appreciate
Mr.
your
Watts?
time.
John,
Mr. Wadsworth?
if I can, just real quick, and I'll tell the mayor, my son lives on Wick Road also, And it's bad up there. We've got to do some type of enforcement up there.
Yeah.
Ms. Webb?
I have friends on Wick Road, and I'm telling you, it is, you can't back out of their drive.
Right.
Or else they're going to take all your rear end off. And I hope that this is resolved, because it is bad. I mean, it is the vehicles, the cars, they are speeding. I mean, at least 65, 70 miles per hour, because I have witnessed it several times. And it's not only just now, it's not only just since the work on the road, it was even before that.
Yeah.
You know, it's terrible. And I hope something gets done about it real soon, because kids are out there on those little, you know, on their bicycles. The older people ride their bicycles in the summertime. And most of these cars are little, you know, they think they have these hip, fast cars. And something really does need to be done about it. And the speed limit signs are good, but maybe with our new patrol officers, they'll have a schedule to where, the car can be seen as they turn in at the marathon station or something for maybe 15 minutes during rush hour or something. It's terrible. It is really, really bad.
Through the chair, real quick. I know I get a lot of people walking on my end. Do you guys have a lot of people walking? And of course, we don't
Miss
have the
Talley.
sidewalks, but
That's rude. Stop.
you do have a lot of people walking. Gotcha.
After-school activities, playing football.
Right.
You know, you got cars just moving down, and they don't yield, they really don't care if you're out there or not, you're an inconvenience for them.
Right.
Getting from Wayne Road now, to new subdivisions, all that, in there, we didn't have them before.
Right.
That's a lot more traffic, but, people who just don't care.
Right.
Yeah. In the future, when you come through the chair, the person, before you go the second time, the person that didn't go the first time should
Oh,
speak.
I'm sorry, Mr.
That's-
Barton.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So I think it was Ms. Abdo.
Yeah, Mayor,
Yeah,
this is
Yeah,
the
no,
one
I'm
place
sorry.
I do get phone calls about, is Wick Road. And I was just wondering, do we have signs on Wick Road that say no trucks? We were going to put them up there, and I don't know if they ever got put up.
It is posted right now, right?
I haven't been down there.
It's
And if
currently
there's a-
posted for those trucks.
And I've read this police report, and, it doesn't seem to see, that it's a high-risk problem, but usually when they put out those readers, that are out there, people slow down because they think, and I don't think it's indicative of how fast people are really going down. I read the police report, but I've seen it firsthand on Wick, and we've got to do something.
People see it, they see the person down, slow down, when they have jam on their brakes, because they have, that nice red or blue lights flashing.
Right.
So it's all crap, they slow down.
Could you come up to, sir? And come up,
I'm sorry, but I was saying, she was right, the tattletale one that's out there, it works because somebody will see it and panic and slow down.
Right.
So everybody slows down, so you're not getting accurate reading, The first guy was honest after he seen this, it all crap slowed down, the rest of them had to. I mean,
okay.
that's gonna work as long as it's there, maybe.
Well, perhaps if we patrol more, it'll solve two problems at one time.
Ms. Williams?
Yeah, I was reading the report from, is this from Officer Harris?
Yeah, it's from Captain Harris.
And I understand your pain. I have family members that live right there at Wick and Wayne, and then right at Coswell and Wick. So, and I see it when I'm visiting them. But at the same time, almost every subdivision in the city is requesting, starting with mine, speed bumps. So we have to come up with something other than speed bumps, because if you start putting them on Wick Road, they're gonna want them on Abbey Drive, they're gonna want them on every subdivision street that we've been saying, the city been saying no, not we, but the city been saying no. So maybe talking with our DPW director and our mayor to come up with another solution. I mean, we're saying easily put police there, but if we don't have man patrol, how we gonna put them there? You know, so it has to be something, but I know speed bumps, from what we were given, is saying that it's not a big issue, although, as you said, they might slow down before they even get there and then speed up after it.
Well, I mean, you could have put one speed bump for a mile of road. You, of course, have to have a couple of them up there in the school zone. I mean, that's, if you don't have the officers there all the time, and you can't have them there all the time. So, a tattletale you can't have there all the time. Speed bumps, to me, I mean, every subdivision, that's not a subdivision, that's a mile-long drag strip out there that I live on, and my life's in danger out on that road, so I don't see that as an unreasonable request.
But
a subdivision got 25-mile-an-hour speed limits, and usually a lot of stop signs. We have none. We have a danger zone.
Well, what I'm saying is, I'm not saying that your request is unreasonable. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, other folks in subdivisions, and not just subdivisions, Beverly Road is like Wick Road, almost a mile long before you get to a stop sign. And they have asked and requested for a speed bump. So it will actually be the study through the DPW and our police department. But this is if he can get a copy of what, the police department gave us tonight, of their findings. I'm just being honest with you. I'm not gonna lead you down, and I know it's bad, and it's not just Wick, it's Wayne Road. Wayne Road is like highway heaven to some folks. They blow through red lights. So I'm not trying to overlook your issue on Wick Road. What I'm saying is, I'm being honest, from what they gave us, it may have to be more studies.
More studies, that's just kicking the can farther down the road. And I mean, again, if you look at it, you're saying of their studies, and that's from putting a tattletale out for 2 weeks, and they said, well, in the 2 weeks, we only got this many cars speeding that's acceptable. Every mouse that got killed in my house thought the cat was gone. So the report must have been flawed for the mice too, because, oops, it happened, and somebody got hurt,
Well, I'm just saying to you.
All I can say is, I bring this to your attention. I can ask you guys to do what I think is reasonable in, it's public record now, so
Right.
if I get my old keister hurt out there, I guess I'm gonna be raising a big stink. And if a kid gets hurt out there, man, I have to go national bragging about that, that we could have stopped it and we didn't. So, that, I'm going now because I spoke mine. I'll do what you gotta do.
Thank you.
Mayor,
Through the chair,
Yeah, go ahead,
this is
Mayor.
a citywide issue. This is not just Wick Road, this is not just the subdivisions. And the irony of it is that we get all these calls to fix the roads, and we find funding to fix the road, then everybody drives, there's no repercussions. They've changed the laws where PD writes citations, they can't suspend license, there's no accountabilities. People, we hear the frustration in our officers that they know at a certain speed, they're gonna break off the chase. So we're working on a lot of different things, and I won't use the word speed bumps, but traffic calming measures. And we're trying those in different areas. It might be a boulevard or a separation or some signs in the middle of the road, something that's not gonna be as obstructive as a speed bump, because studies also show that speed bumps increase response time for emergency vehicles. So we're trying to collect all the data. You're right, this is an issue. I think it's a cultural issue. I think it's a performance issue with these new cars they got out now. But it's happening all over the city, and it's happening in different cities where people are just driving like this. So we're gonna try to find a way, we have to solve this problem, one way or the other. So we're gonna look at all the options that are out there. We're also talking to our new state lawmakers. Maryland and some other states can issue citations to those tattletales, using your words. I received one when I was traveling, so I wondered why aren't we doing it? So I learned that Michigan is not friendly to issuing a citation, because it's a whole lot cheaper for municipality to have that out there issuing citations than to pay for an officer. I want my officers out there fighting crime and keeping us safe, not being meter maids. So if we could get our legislators to push laws to have Michigan be friendly to writing citations off a photo of a license plate. Speed limit's 35 and you went 40, you get a ticket in the mail. Because we can have an officer sit out on a road all day long and not one speeder comes by there. And as soon as we pull off, 80 mile an hour, here comes somebody. So, yeah, we collected some data here, and it helps make good decisions, but we all know this is an issue. You're not the first one to bring it to us. We're still hearing it. We don't have a solve for you yet, but I can tell you that we are going to find a solve. And then we also have, and I'm not making excuses, we have 40 police officers. Well, we've approved the hiring of 4 more because we want to have a traffic division out there again and increase our presence. But they're having this nationwide issue right now with hiring police officers. So as soon as we get up to the par where we need to be with the amount of officers, we're going to have our traffic division out there again and hopefully curtailing some of these. So there's a lot of different solves out there with traffic calming measures, with legislation, additional PD. We're going to work on all of them till we find a solve, because you're not the first one, and God forbid we wait until we hear some kid getting injured.
If I may, you know, I heard it mentioned, one of the things you said was it makes it harder for emergency vehicles?
Studies have shown that it increases emergency vehicle response time.
I think that train that parked across Wick Road for an hour and a half a few days back is a bigger deter than a stinking speed bump. Because it parked there for an hour and a half, and then we have to guess which way to go to get past. That's another issue I've brought to city council before, and ain't nothing been done.
Yeah, well, and we're working with the trains as
So we'll do
well.
some more studies and kick that can a little farther down the road, Mr. Mayor, correct? Is that what I'm hearing?
No, that's not what you're hearing at all. We're going to continue to collect data and make good decisions that's going to move the community forward and keep our residents safe as well. We will take action. We just don't know what that action is yet. We want to, like I said, collect data and make the right decisions. We don't want to waste taxpayers' dollars on these things that don't solve the problem. We want to make sure we solve the issue. And I don't live far from you. I hear it. I know those cars are going down. You're not making it up. It's happening.
I'll give you the benefit of the doubt, and let's see where you go with this. All right, I appreciate that.
Yep.
I really do. Thank you.
You take care. And thank you for bringing it to us.
Thank
You know,
you.
I'm
Yes,
hearing it.
Ms.
Like I said,
Talley.
I already
Has
did.
everybody got their turn to speak?
Yeah.
So I can speak
It's
again?
frustrating for us as well.
Sir?
Mr. Shaw, just
Ms.
real
Shaw.
quick, thank you for coming out. This is what city council is for you to come and have your voice heard. So thank you so much for coming out and bringing that out. I know you said you brought us some other issue before, but that's what this room is here for, to bring those issues. So thank you for coming out, and keep coming out if you want to. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. So this takes us to number 4, the chairperson's report.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. At 6:30 PM tonight, we had a closed session for the attorney opinion, and I just wanted to wish everybody a happy new year coming up, and that concludes the chairperson's report.
Mr. Chair, I'll make the motion to accept your report.
Support.
Been motioned by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Ms. Talley, for approval of the chairperson's report. Ms. Roscoe,
Yes.
Ms. Talley,
Yes.
Ms. Abdo,
Yes.
Ms. Webb,
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth.
Yes.
Ms. Williams. Chair votes yes, motion approved. Thank you.
Number 5 is the mayor's report.
Thank you. Good evening to the council, and clerk, deputy clerk, audience at home, and also audience here in the crowd. Just to comment on the petitioner as well, too, is we've heard this loud and clear from our residents. We are going to find a solve, one way or the other. We're going to solve this issue of speeders. Just don't know what that solve is going to be yet. We are determined to solve that issue. We don't have a video from Ms. Tolliver this evening, but I have one announcement before I get into action items, is I'd like to congratulate our newly elected school board member and also our Lady Eagles basketball coach, Coach Paris McCarthy. She was not only newly elected to the school board, I believe she takes office in January, but also she was named today from the Basketball Coaches Association of Michigan and the Detroit Pistons as the Coach of the Week. So congratulations to her, and she's doing a great job. And if you've seen those games at all and you've seen the score, they are rolling it up on the competition, so hopefully they'll go far into the playoffs and bring us home a state championship this year. We're not putting any pressure on Paris, but just saying. First action item I have are planning commission reappointments. So I'd ask that council concur with the administration and approve reappointments of Daniel McAnally and James Crowell to the Planning Commission for 3-year terms that will expire January 31st, 2026.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Mr. Wadsworth?
I'd like to move to approve the reappointment of the Planning Commission of James Grova and Daniel McNally.
Been motioned by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Williams for Planning Commission reappointments. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you. The next item we have is for purchase of a wide format printer. So I'd ask the council concur with the administration and consent to piggyback on the Sourcewell contract number 030321-KON-MARCO for the purchase of 1 HP page wide XL 42 MFP color inkjet digital printer system, along with 18-month all-inclusive maintenancing program including delivery and installation for a total cost of $22,511.
Through the chair.
Ms. Talley?
I'd like to make that motion to concur with administration and consent to piggyback on the Sourcewell contract number 030321-KON-MARCO for the purchase of 1 HP Page YXL 4200 MFP color inkjet digital print system, along with an 18-month all-inclusive maintenance program, including delivery and installation for the total cost of $22,511.
Support.
Been motioned by Ms. Talley, supported by Ms. Webb, for piggyback on Sourcewell contract number 030321, Con Micro Technologies LLC, for purchase of a wide format printer and maintenance for the clerk's office. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote. Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you. The next item we have is a request to waive the bidding process for the demolition of the former Alert Glass building. As you're aware, the city recently acquired that property, and due to the liability that we have with that site being there, and also the material that was left in that building by the previous owner, we have concerns. We want to expedite the demolition process for as soon as possible. So I would ask that council concur with the administration and waive the bidding process for the demolition of the former Alert Glass building at 35425 E-Course and authorize Van Ashe Construction to complete the demolition and site cleanup in the amount of $23,925 as part of the Wayne and E-Course intersection project.
Through the chair, if I may.
Yes, Ms. Webb.
I'd like to concur with the administration and waive the bidding process for the demolition. Support.
Been motioned by Ms. Webb, supported by Mr. Wadsworth, for the waive the bidding for demolition of a former Alert Glass building as part of the Wayne E-Course intersection redesign. Any discussion?
I got a question, John.
Yes, go ahead, Mr. Wadsworth.
You know, I'm pleased that Van Ash is going to do the work, but why didn't we bid it?
We're looking at a timeline. We'd like to have this, well, the liability is there as well, and we're concerned about the amount of tires left in that building and the danger that it presents to our firefighters, anybody if we have an issue
All right,
over there.
fine. Like I say, he's
And
a
also,
local contractor.
We want to make sure we're
glad he got
timely
it.
and ready to prep for that
All
construction
right.
season.
Thank you.
I couldn't hear your question, your answer, so I'm not for sure if you answered my question. What's the purpose of waiving the bidding process?
It's really for a timeline. If we wait to let bid, that building will probably be there another 3 or 4 months before we can move on it. If we waive the bidding process, we move the local contractor. We expedite that, remove the liability that the city has now because they own that property. If we have somebody that gets in there to trespass or there's a fire, there's a lot of tires that were left in that site. So it creates a significant issue or a life safety issue to our firefighters if they got to respond there. So we want to remove the liability, and we also want to make sure that it's down in time for construction season, because we know we don't want to slow down the reconstruction of that Wayne Road, E-Course Road intersection.
No, we definitely don't, because that's my corner right there. So, I just wanted to know what was the reason, and when you answered Councilman Wadsworth's question, I was having a conversation with Mayor Pro Tem, so I kind of missed it. So thank you. I'm excited about that corner being modernized.
Okay. Any other discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote. Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you. The next item we have is for as-needed water and sewer repairs. And I would ask that council concur with the administration and award ITB 2223-07 for 3 years emergency on-call repairs for an as-needed basis for the city's sewer and water system and for the removal and replacement of lead water service lines to both Eminent Excavating LLC and Major Contracting Group at the rates each reflected in the respective bids.
Mr. Chair, I'll make that motion.
Yes.
That we concur with administration and award ITB 22/23-07 to Eminent Excavating LLC and Major Contracting Group.
Support.
Been motioned by Ms. Abdo, supported by Ms. Roscoe, for ITB 22-2307, 3-year emergency and as-needed water and sewer repairs. Any discussion?
Yes.
Williams, and then Ms. Talley? Go ahead,
Yeah,
Ms. Talley.
this is just for my education. So in the bidding process, it said the following were present for the opening: Gary Harris, and I'm used to Lynn Conway, but it says Jessica LaDuke, elections clerk, Frank Gordado, eminent, and Marcos Guckman, eminent. Where does this, I don't understand this host of people. Can somebody explain that process to me? Why it's not Gary Harris and Lynn Conway? Was Lynn Conway out or something?
Good evening, Council. So you're saying you want to know why they were present or not present?
Yeah, why this particular group of people? Because I'm used to seeing when the ones we've done is usually Gary Harris, the purchasing director, and Lynn Conway, the assistant, or I'm not sure what her title is. So I'm just kind of confused of this group of people that's there.
Well, the bidding contractors can show up to the bid opening.
Okay,
So you probably had either bidders that bid on the work or bidders that were interested in knowing what other contractors bid.
okay. So this Frank Gordado and Marcos, it says eminent, they were people who maybe bidded on it?
Or they could have been, or they could have been people interested in knowing who bid.
Okay.
So they're out seeking to see what their competition is.
Gotcha, okay. And so Jessica from the elections clerk, why would she be there? I mean, this is just for my education.
You know, typically, she probably brought those bids up to Gary and then attended because you want it witnessed. You know,
Gotcha.
You want more than one person there opening up the bids.
Okay.
Because there could be some confusion even with the audience on what they heard.
Okay.
Or what, you know, whether this bid was sealed or not or open. All those matters need to be witnessed.
Okay, no, I'm just, like I said, this is just for my education, because I'm used to seeing Gary and Lynn, and not saying that, that's just what I'm used to seeing when I'm going through the process, but no, I just wanted it for my education. And then my other question is, and just in your experience, Roberto, it looks like when we go on Mint, we get a lot, we notify a lot of different companies, we get companies that download, and then now we're doing courtesy emails. Is that something new that we're doing, courtesy emails?
If there's a pool of contractors we use that we know are interested in the work,
Okay.
we can certainly hand out that information. It just makes it that much more competitive.
Okay.
But the mitten system will also send out emails to other contractors that are kind of scheduled in that type of work
Okay.
to notify them. But, you know, we hear it all the time that you can see on this, for emergency services, we only got 2 bidders.
We got, yeah, one bid, didn't, oh yeah, 2 bid. No,
Yeah,
1
two-
bid.
Two bidders.
2 bids, okay.
2 bidders.
Why is it so low like that?
It's just, you know, it's repercussions from basically the whole nation, and that is
Okay.
short of staff and lots of work. So,
Okay.
the federal government, you know, definitely pushed out a lot of funding out there, and there's a lot of work for the contractors that are available. A lot of contractors folded up that couldn't keep it through the pandemic. So you have a smaller group of people that can actually perform the work.
Okay.
It's a big issue in our industry.
No, thank you. Thank you for that education.
William?
Yes, so, the eminent, extravagant LLC and the major contracting group, which, I don't see, where are they far as, let me see. What page is this? This is page 45. So both of them bid at the same rate?
No, not the same rate. Kathy, do you have a?
Because this is so little, I'm blowing it up and I'm missing half of it.
Yeah, they both show different rates, if I can't comment, but it's always best to have two contractors in case one can't get to the work in a timely manner. And there are some issues here where we can't do the repairs in-house because of equipment capacity. You know, they might be at depth deeper than our equipment will go, so that's another reason for having two contractors on site, just to make sure it's repaired in a timely fashion.
And I agree with that, but one of these contractors is some kin to you down the road?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
I just feel like that's, could be a conflict of interest. Is no one else bid it, or you can't send it out to anyone else that would respond?
No, well, it was publicly bid, and basically Eminent Excavating and Major Contracting submitted bids. Their total crew hours, inside Kathy's cover letter, you can see that Eminent Excavating, their bid for their crew added up to $435 an hour for their entire crew. Major Contracting bid $414 for their crew for 1 hour. So that's what the city has. If the council's not comfortable with Major Contracting being related to me, you know, it narrows down even more the options that the city has.
What do you mean it narrows down, so you can't, like, send it back out?
That's up to the board to do. That's to the board's discretion.
Okay, that's just,
Ms. Abdul and then Ms. Webb.
I feel comfortable with the bids. I think we do need two people, or two companies, and we have two, and I feel comfortable with the bids.
Thank you.
Ms. Webb?
Through the chair, I'm not comfortable with two contractors. We have enough problems with one, let alone two. And then the crew hours are totally different as well. That's that's going to be some overtime, okay? What they're going to be doing. I don't know if their hours are straight hours, or because you never know how long they're going to have to be out there. And that's my concern about having two contractors. If we had one, we could deal with that one.
Right. So the award is just, we're going to award it to two contractors. That doesn't mean we're going to have two contractors out on the job at the same time. And it's only for those jobs that our employees are not equipped or can't perform. One of the eminent contracting, one of them was a minimum of 6 hours. So we're paying them for 6 hours, whether they're there for 3, 4,
Right.
5, 6. The other one was 4. So
that
we
called
want
show-up
to,
time,
just in
or-
case one can't come out, we can call another.
Oh, okay. And this is an emergency,
It's emergency stuff.
job. Okay, thank you.
Any other discussion? Hearing none. Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
no.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you. Next item I have is for a 3-year contractual services agreement for emergency on-call as-needed electrical services. So I would ask council concur with the administration and award bid ITB 2223-09 to the lowest, most responsive and responsible bidder, Great Lakes Power and Lighting, for emergency on-call and as-needed electrical services for the City of Romulus Department of Public Works at the hourly rates of material and equipment. Pricing submitted along with their bid for a 3-year term to end December 31st, 2025.
Go ahead. Mr. Chairman, I'm going to move that we approve bid ITB 22/23-09. It's a 3-year contract for emergency on-call basis for electrical services.
Support.
Motion by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Roscoe, for ITB 22/23-09, 3-year contractual service agreement for emergency on-call as needed electrical services. Any discussion?
Yes, through the chair.
Yes, Ms. Talley.
And I'm sorry, Roberta, I was looking at the wrong one. This is the one that had the questions I had regarding, I was ahead of myself, so I apologize. This was one, but since you answered it already, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Talley. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Ross? Was any other discussion?
Yeah,
Ms. Webb?
I just had a question. This Great Lakes Power and Lighting for emergency, have we used these people before? Have we had this service?
Yeah, they were the electrician right now, and Kathy, I believe their contract expired, right?
Yeah, they were, the last 3 years, they were our previous electrical repair firm. Oh, so I guess I wasn't reading this correctly. I'm thinking DTE, my lights go out, they better come, no. This is strictly what, City Hall, city building?
City-owned properties, emergency on-call. We still do a lot of our stuff that we can do in-house.
Okay.
Joe Watt's a great help. He works with Shayla Mikowski to do a great job of the things we could do in-house. The things that are beyond their scope of work or what they're legally able to do. This is the contractor that we use.
Okay, so this just mainly has to do with city,
Yes.
period. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. We'll do it again. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Williams? Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you. Next item we have up is a 2-year contractual services agreement for dust control on city-owned roads. I would ask the council to concur with the administration, authorize the mayor and clerk to enter into the attached 2-year fixed-price contract with the lowest, most responsive bidder, Suburban Calcium Chloride Sales Incorporated, for dust control of city's unpaved local streets and parks through the conclusion of 2024 on an as-needed basis at a cost of 28 cents per gallon.
Through the chair, if I may.
Yes, Ms. Webb.
I'd like to concur with the administration and authorize the mayor and clerk to enter into a 2-year fixed price contract to the lowest, most responsive bidder.
Support, and I have a question.
Okay, it's been motioned by Ms. Webb, supported by Mr. Wadsworth for ITB 22/23-10, 2-year contractual service agreement, dust control program for the city streets and park. Mr. Wadsworth.
If I could, through the chair to Roberto, how many unpaved roads do we have other than Merriman, south of Eureka, that I can think of? Harrison, okay, that's 2 now.
And also EJ's.
Good evening. We have Harrison Road, south of North Line, that's 1 mile. We have Merriman Road, south of Eureka, that's a little less than 1 mile. I think in total, we have roughly just under 3 miles.
Okay, fine.
Portion of Henry Ruff too,
Through the
right?
chair.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, Henry Ruff, yeah, all right. Thank you.
Ms. Abdo.
Yes, Roberto, come back. I'm looking at what we're voting on. It says as needed. Who is going to be determined as needed? Who determines that?
That guy.
Basically,
It's you?
me, Kathy, the foreman, Justin in the roads department. When the conditions get really dry and the calls start from the residents about dust control and their houses are getting dusty, we'll apply a coating and we try to judiciously kind of time it in between the season that we can get a couple quotes and be within our budget.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion?
Through the chair.
Yes, Ms. Webb.
Roberto, will you mail out a notice to the residents there, since it's a small amount? I meant to the, yeah, it's a very, it's not a big number of people, residents
Yes.
there. So how would they be informed? Is this some type of oil, or will this
It's chloride.
chloride?
Yeah, it's a chloride
Yeah, I
solution
should've written.
that's used. And we don't typically send out a letter notice, but it is communicated to the residents that it's
Okay.
going to happen. And basically, you know, we have that relationship through our foreman with the residents. They
good.
call in, they start to call in and say, hey, when's the application going to be applied? So it's word of mouth typically, but if the board would like, we could start mailers.
Oh, no, that costs. But all I'm saying is, I was wondering how they would be informed, because, you know, people will start calling and complaining. If they have a good rapport with some of our employees, that's even better, because they can even inform them that it's gonna be coming, you know, they watch the weather, they know how hot and dry and dusty it'll be. Okay, thank you.
William?
I looked at it, you just named several roads, but it also includes streets too, am I correct?
Yeah. Yeah,
Because
and
it's-
anything that's public, we treat. And some.
That's dirt road, I mean,
Yes.
street road.
Right.
Because there's more than three. I know
Yes,
you said
yes.
three, but yeah.
Those are the major ones I could think of, but I
Okay.
know we don't have a lot. We have, like I said, I believe it's that right under that 3 miles of gravel roads.
Oh, 3 miles, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Any other discussion? Roll call vote. Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you. Last item I have on my report is a budget amendment. I ask the council concur with the administration and introduce budget amendment 2223-10 to recognize a budget amendment for the extension of RFP 2021-04 council chamber AV system improvements.
Mr. Chair, I'll make that motion
Okay,
for introduction of budget amendment 22/23-10 for the council chamber AV system improvement.
Support.
motion by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Mr. Wadsworth. Introduction of budget amendment 22/23-10. Any discussion?
Yeah, through the chair.
Yes. Oh, go ahead, Mr. Abdo.
I have a question as to what they are going to be doing with this improvement. Didn't we just upgrade the council chambers? And I know it's been a problem, and shouldn't the work be under warranty that we did do?
Yes, we did upgrade, but this is to continue that. We're going to be working on the video playback system, so we'll have maybe video on demand, streaming video, be able to, do some things down there. Our message board will be improved. We've heard you, or haven't heard you, with the sound system in here. The speakers are not quite what we thought they were gonna be, so we're gonna be doing an upgrade to that also. So, I mean, this is a continuation of that project, to finish it up and, really have a top-notch system.
One of the complaints that I get from people that watch us regularly is they can't hear us at all.
And that's what we want to help with too, yes.
I can't hear us.
I
I
can't hear
have trouble
either.
hearing in here, too.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, I can't even
Yep,
hear my
and I don't think it would
colleagues
fall under the
sometimes down there.
warranty issue, it's really a performance issue, so they're trying to upgrade that. Like the speaker we have right there, that needs to come to the speaker's mouth, so there's a lot of things we're gonna do to make the
Yeah.
system better, because we're hearing the complaints as well.
All right, that
Ms. Talley?
That was my question too.
Okay.
And then, when, I'm gonna get my monitor back and part of that too?
I'm sorry?
And my monitor coming back like everybody else's? went-
Oh, yes, absolutely, yeah. I mean, well, them are under warranty, so, that's.
I'm messing with you.
They're on order right now.
I'm
so
messing with you,
they're
no,
coming up
thank you.
yes.
Any other discussion? Hearing none. Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Tally?
Yes.
Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion is approved.
Thank you, and that will conclude my report for this evening. I just want to wish everybody at home and everybody here tonight a happy and festive new year and safe as well. So I'm looking forward to 2023.
Thank you, Mayor.
Number 6 is the clerk's report. I have 3 action items. 6A, this is a study session request. Finance Director Maria Ferris is requesting a 30-minute study session on behalf of Plant Moran for Monday, January 9th, 2023 at 6:45 p.m. And this is to discuss the audit ending fiscal year June 30, 2022. The date and time are available for this request. And as a reminder, a public hearing is scheduled for Monday, January 9th at 6 o'clock to hear comments and/or objections to the proposed improvement of Grant Road and Cypress Road.
Through the chair, if I may,
Ms. Webb?
I'd like to make that motion for Monday, January 9th, 2023 at 6:45 p.m. to discuss the audit ending fiscal year June 20th, 2022.
Support.
Motion by Ms. Webb, supported by Ms. Tally, for a study session request for Monday, January the 9th, 2023 at 6:45. Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Ms. Tally?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, council. 6B is also a study session request. Mayor McCrate is requesting a 45-minute study session for Monday, January 23rd, 2023 at 6:30 p.m. for the presentation of Future IQ's final report findings and recommendations from the City Visioning Project. The date and time are available for this request.
Through the chair,
Ms. Tally?
I'd make that motion for a study session request for Monday, January 23rd, 2023 at 6:30 p.m. for the City Visioning Project.
Support.
Motion by Ms. Tally, supported by Ms. Roscoe, for study session request for Monday, January 23rd, 2023 at 6:30 p.m. Ms. Tally?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you. Last action item is 6C, also a study session request. And Mayor McCrate is also requesting a 1 hour and 15-minute study session for Monday, February 13th, 2023 at 6 o'clock p.m. for consideration of design details for the proposed Veteran Memorials Park located on the site of Peter C. Byrd House and alternative detail to restore the former Veterans Memorial Monument on the city municipal complex. The date and the time are available for this request.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Mr. Wadsworth.
I will move that we approve the Monday, February 13th meeting at 6 p.m. in regards to the Veterans Monument, and I hope this gets the Veterans Monument started, Mayor.
Support.
Thank you.
Been motioned by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Abdo, for a study session request for Monday, February 13th, 2023 at 6 p.m. In discussion? Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Roscoe?
Yes.
Tally?
Yes.
Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, council. That concludes my action items, but I do have, I received an email today from one of our residents, and I would like to read that and share that with you. It's regarding Wreaths Across America. Good evening, everyone. I have always loved our little city, but I have never been more proud of her and her citizens this past Saturday, and she's referring to Saturday, September the 18th. A record number gathered in the cemetery on a cold, snowy morning to honor our military who served so selfishly by placing a wreath on their graves. After the colors were presented by our police department, our national anthem was sung by Ellen Bragg, Pledge of Allegiance led by the Girl Scouts, the invocation and welcome greetings from Mayor McCray. Kevin Kraus gave a moving history of the Romulus Cemetery that has almost 400 veterans entered in this hallowed ground. He asked us all to use this as a teaching moment for our young, teach them freedom is never free, and many have fought and died for it, and we must be vigilant and never take it for granted. We were reminded that we were standing on holy ground, not to celebrate, but to honor our veterans, and asked to slowly say the name of the veteran, thank and pray for them as we laid a wreath. Thanks to our clerk's office and the cemetery committee led by Jan Lemon, the cemetery is beautiful. It is always well maintained. I wish to thank everyone who planned or participated in this wonderful ceremony. Most of all, thank the veterans for the right to do so. Thank you and Merry Christmas. And this is from Wanda Sanchez. And I'd also, on that note, would just like to just acknowledge a couple of people. As we know, 'tis the season and for giving. So many people donated food. There were like food drives, and we had Mark Cox for the, I can't think of the name of his exercise. Pardon? Grind line. I should know that, right? But anyway, who on that same day, who had donated turkeys and gifts and food for families. And he had young people there and so many other groups. And I want to mention Councilwoman Williams and the Forgotten Harvest. I had an opportunity to volunteer last Tuesday. We had Principal Petty from the high school. We had students from the high school. We had Captain Harris there, Director Kraus, even newly elected Senator Camilleri and his team that were out there handing out food and the turkey drive. It is quite an undertaking. At times it was a little surreal for me. So many people in need. It is a commitment. And I really want to commend Councilwoman Williams. I had no idea of the task that it takes every week that she's been committed since 2020 on this Forgotten Harvest. There are a lot of people that are in need, and the work and the volunteers that are there. It's only a handful of people that are out there volunteering weekly, and the commitment, again, it was very surreal, and it was just a moment that I thought, wow, for someone to do this weekly, not just for this season, but every week they're packing and loading and all the turkeys and just helping families. The part for me that got to me, normally I've participated in food drives and passing out food. There were families of 1 and 2, a lot of seniors. And a lot of people that are single out there, a little emotional, because normally you have families of 4 and 5 with a lot of children, but these were adults that needed help, that were there and they were so grateful. So again, to everyone who during this holiday season, who just took the time and was giving and providing food. Like I said, I had a chance to, Mayor McCray was there at Grind Line, also our city treasurer, and just to see the families and the children that were coming in and coming through, and the amount of work and time it takes to prepare something like that is just commendable. And again, Councilwoman Williams, my hat's off to you. For just being committed to the Forgotten Harvest every week, and you've been doing that for 3 years. If we ever get a chance, just go out and volunteer one day. I think it's just something it's about our city. It's been mentioned earlier tonight, One Romulus, and that's what this is about. We're all working together for our city and the commitment just to make it a great place to live in. So thank you for allowing me this time to have those comments.
Thank you, Ms. Clerk, for bringing that out, because she does need a hand. She is my colleague, And these are the things that she does in this city.
Thank you. That takes us to, we do not have a treasurer's report. Takes us to 8, public comment, and this is the portion of the agenda for those in the audience who would like to address City Council. The rules to address City Council can be found on the back of the meeting agenda. If you would like to address the City Council, please raise your hand, and after being acknowledged by the chairperson, approach the podium and state your name. Please note, members of the public who submitted a public comment card will be called upon first. You will have 3 minutes to speak, and any additional time will be upon the consent of the chairperson. And as a reminder, members of the public viewing tonight's meeting via the city's broadcast channel or YouTube Live can submit their public comments to publiccomment@romulusgov.com before the end of the public comment period. We do not have any cards or no requests via email to speak.
Any requests from the audience, comments? No comments from the audience? Madam Clerk, we'll close that part out.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. That takes us to number 9, which is unfinished business. Number 10, new business. Number 3 for approval is warrant 22-24 and warrant 22, they both are the same number, but the 22-24, and the other one is also 22-24. There are 2 warrants for approval.
Yes, I see that. Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion, we pay warrant 22-24 in the following amounts. General Fund, $80,263.63. Major Street Fund, $19,871.37. Local Street Fund, $1,859.74. Public Safety Fund, $36,033.13. Cable TV, $561.71. Merriman Road Special Assessment, $7,619.95. Street Lighting Fund, $51,893.31. Oakwood SAD, $55.45. Garbage and Rubbish Collection Fund, $98,177.23. Brownfield Redevelopment Authority Fund, $217.50. Michigan Indigent Defense Fund, $191.67. 9/11 Service Fund, $4,237.70. NARC Forfeiture State, $36.01. Library Fund, $7,898.53. DDA, $2,041.61. Tifa District 2, $89,610.16. Vining Road Extension E-Course Construction, $433.50. Water and Sewer Fund, $591,261.88. Motor Vehicle, $81,532.14. Technology Services, $6,912.24. Retiree Insurance Benefits, $173,488.91. Revolving Fund, $6,425. Current Tax, $14,969.10. Payroll Fund, $256,033.93. Totaling all funds, $1,531,625.40.
Support.
A motion by Ms. Abdo, supported by Ms. Talley, for approval of warrant number 22-24 for $1,531,625.40. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote. Ms. Abdo,
Yes.
Ms. Talley,
Yes.
Ms. Webb,
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth,
Yes.
Ms. Williams,
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe,
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved. Mr. Chair, if I may, I just want to make a correction on that second warrant on, you have 12B there. That should be 22-24-1.
Dash one.
Okay, -1.
Okay, -1.
Okay. Through the chair,
Yes, Ms. Tally.
I'd like to make that motion for the approval of warrant number 22-24-1, 34th District Court, checks presented in the amount of $357,936.82.
Support.
It's been motioned by Ms. Tally, supported by Mr. Wadsworth, to pay warrant number 22-24-1 for $357,936.82. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote. Ms. Tally?
Yes?
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
No.
Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
No.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, council. Takes us to number 12, communication.
Yeah.
I think Ms. Abdo
Thank you.
waving.
I just have two quick announcements. The first one is the RAC will be sponsoring a pickleball clinic on Wednesday, January 11th, from 6 to 8. So if anyone is interested in learning how to play pickleball, which is the up-and-coming sport, it's a $10 fee, and you have to pre-register at the RAC before Monday, January 9th. So you got that, Mayor? We got you down. And the other announcement, well, the mayor already announced about Paris McCarthy, which we're very proud of. The other announcement I wanted to make, I wanted to congratulate Bill Wadsworth for being named Person of the Year by the Romulus Chamber of Commerce.
All right, Bill. Thank you.
Go, Bill.
Thank you, Mrs. Abdul, for that.
And that's it, quick and easy.
Okay. Ms. Tally?
Oh, yes, thank you. Yeah, just a couple of quick announcements. We had a lot going on since our last meeting in our city. Just a shout out to our Romulus Community Schools. They had 2 ribbon cuttings since our last meeting. They had a ribbon cutting for their Meta Lab there at the high school, and then they had a ribbon cutting for their new technology weight room. It is beautiful over there, so if you get a chance to check it out, the weight room is beautiful. They got the Meta Lab going on over there as well, so a couple of good events going on in our city, our school district, so you want to check them out and give them some shout outs over there. I want to shout out to Osborne Concrete, who provided, when we're talking about people giving, doing things in the spirit of giving, Osborne Concrete steps up, and I think they've done it for the last several years. They partner with Motor City Meats here in our city of Romulus, one of our local businesses. They're located on Van Born and Van Born Wayne area, and they partner with Osborne Concrete, and they give out certificates. They give some to our school district. They give some to the Ministerial Alliance. They give out to the community, and they give, and these are not no chintzy baskets. These are full baskets that the residents or whoever the recipients can go to Motor City Meats. They call in with their order, and then they go. Then Motor City Meats prepares them, and then they can go pick them up. So just as a heads up, thank you for Osborne Concrete for giving back in our community. This ain't something that they have to do. This is something they have been doing, and then Motor City Meats, who partners with them in this effort. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And then I do want to talk about Reefs Across America, and it was a great event. It was cold, but it was just a wonderful event. That was just a small sacrifice we could pay, being cold, than what these veterans have done for us, and the freedoms that we have in our country. So thank you, Mayor, for putting on a great event, and everybody that was out supporting. It was off the chain. I mean, it was to a different level than I've seen it, and I've been to every one since the mayor has instituted, and this one was just off the chain, top notch. So thank you, thank you, thank you. That was a great event. Reese was good. And then I did have a question. I had gotten an email. Did we see funding for the state for Marianne Banks Park?
We were saving that one, but yes, we did. We received a grant funding
Okay.
for some reinvestment in Marianne Banks Park in the amount of $112,000. So excited about what's going to happen there this spring, so.
Okay, great, thank you. So I just want to make sure I had accurate information. Thank you, Mayor, for that. And then the last thing is that, give everybody a shout out, we are coming into the new year, hoping for great things and new things, doing new things, latter years of our lives greater than the former year, and that great things for our city, for everybody personally, just looking for great things. And if you don't have nothing to do on New Year's Eve, I think they still may have capacity. The Upscale Warehouse is doing a New Year's Eve event on Saturday. And it is $100, and it includes a three-course dinner, entertainment, they're gonna have comedy all night, and then they're gonna have a band, and then champagne and party favors. So if you don't have anything to do, give them a call, because you do have to reserve in advance. Their number is 734-326-3000, just to make sure they have the capacity, that they're not at a capacity right now, but give them a call if you need something to do on that night. They're located here in our city, at 6492 Wayne Road, Romulus, and the number again is 734-326-3000, and again, Happy New Year's to everybody.
Thank you. Ms. Williams.
Yes, I would just like to thank the mayor and his team for joining in and donating and supporting the effort to supply the full course meal for the Romulus residents. Our clerk, as she said, our fire chief, and Officer Harris. One thing we have to remember is it's so easy to say things, and it's another thing to do it. And I had residents calling, and still calling even as today, saying thank you. And I wanted the mayor to know for the calls that I received. Because the flyer strictly said a turkey giveaway. They had no idea that the entire meal was in the box. This senior, it brought tears to my heart. She said, all I need is a plate and a fork. She said, I had nothing in my cupboard, but now all I need is a plate and a fork. And to hear the residents, week after week, as Ms. Bragg said, the stories of our residents, the stories of the need of our residents. And that's why I speak so much about our residents, because I hear from them. I hear their needs. I hear their troubles, their concerns. And so we're here to hear them and to respond. It's not about what we like. Because I'd rather be laying on the beach acting like Stella got a groove back. But the Lord has me there. And so I'm telling you, to experience our residents, and so many, as Ms. Bragg said, not just the young, but our seniors, the need of them. Just to get a bag of potatoes, a piece of meat, a loaf of bread, eggs, they're grateful. And I just want to thank, like I said again, to this mayor, because he made it even more possible for that box to be filled. I'm talking about if you ever got a box that was filled with a dinner, that box was filled. And I say again, in an open forum, because the residents wanted me to thank you. Thank you, clerk, for coming and being so emotional, crying over the residents. It was just a great thing. But I have to make this announcement. We will not be there the Tuesday after New Year's, but we will return on January the 10th. Sorry, we're gonna miss you guys out there, but we will be back. So Mayor, if anyone call your office and say that it's over, it's not over. Forgotten Harvest is just shutting down, reorganized that week, and we'll be back on the 10th. Thank you again.
Thank you. Yeah, Ms. Webb? Oh, Mr. Mayor?
Yes, Ms. Webb.
Ladies first?
No.
Ladies
we-
first.
Ladies first.
Oh,
Ladies
okay,
first.
no, mine is on the moral resolution, so I'd rather yours go first.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, Mayor.
I was just going to reiterate all the good news I'm hearing, and it's part of what makes me proud and inspires me to represent this community is all the people who step up, and there's so many groups and organizations, so many churches that are doing good deeds and taking care of those who are a little bit less fortunate in this community, and it always impresses me and inspires me. Some people do it quietly, so many boxes out here for coat drives, trying to help somebody out, and there's so many good people doing good deeds. And over the weekend, shout out to our first responders and our public works people. We had a structure fire on Christmas Eve. And we all know how cold it was that night. We had equipment that was frozen, and we had different communities show up, Dearborn Heights, Brownstown, Dearborn, Taylor, Metro Airport. They came to assist our firefighters, and they were out there working that fire because of the way the floor collapsed for over 10 hours. So 10 hours, and that's away from their loved ones being out there. PD, Bill, I'm sure you can contest how the domestics you get on Christmas. I'm listening to PD run all weekend. And that's time away from their loved ones and their families, keeping us safe. DPW is out on main breaks and in these single-digit temperatures. So all those people that work behind the scenes, you know, keeping this community together, and all the people that are down there making this community work, just makes me proud to be from Romulus. So we say it all the time. We can't say it enough. One Romulus, one keep
Romulus.
moving, and keep making progress and doing things that make me proud to be from this community. So
Amen.
that's it for me.
Thank you, Mayor. Ms. Webb?
What I'd like to say is Teresa Sudduth passed away last week, and I just received information that her viewing is at Chapel of the Chimes tomorrow between 4 and 7. She graduated in '92 from Romulus High. Her brother Derek Sudduth was a football little league coach at the school. So I just want to send out my condolences to them. And then I have another neighbor that I don't have the information on, is Mrs. Leona Austin.
Yeah.
She was my neighbor for 50
Yep.
years.
Yep.
And her kids, they all went to school with my kids. And
Yep.
it's really something when death is like all around us and we never know. And so it's best to be very thankful for us being here and our families
Amen.
and friends. So,
Amen.
You have a question, Ms. Williams?
I'm asking for the resolution for Teresa.
You
I
support
don't
it.
have Mrs. Austin, but we could still give it to Mrs. Austin because hers is not until next week, I believe. her funeral.
Been motioned by Ms. Webb, supported by Ms. Williams for a resolution, memorial resolution. Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Ms. Williams? Yes. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Through the chair, I apologize, just one more. You
Okay.
made me think of it, and I apologize wholeheartedly to the family for not mentioning it sooner, but tomorrow we lay to rest Joe Liberato, one of the owners of Leonardo's, and what a great community
Wow.
partner. And we just need to make sure that we're acknowledging, I'm sorry if I stepped in on that over there, but yeah, they're a great story. They invested in our community years ago. I remember in high school, several of my guys, my friends worked making pizzas there, and they grew it and they invested in our community, and what a great family, great people to be respected, and they're always there to support, and want to make sure we mention Joe.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to say, for the Veterans Reef, that was a great outing. I got a chance again to visit my son and brother that's buried there. And the crowd, I think, is probably one of the largest. Ms.
It's
Talley, I
huge.
think, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. It's big.
Mr. Wadsworth, wasn't it? I think so. Also, I want to congratulate again our councilman, Mr. Wadsworth. Let's go.
Thank you.
Yay.
Yeah,
I'm thinking
and-
what to say eventually.
And the ribbon cutting is interesting. They had a weight room ribbon cutting. I seen the mayor, McCray. I was saying, I hope he'd be okay. He bench pressed
Yes,
a lot of weight, a lot of times. And I seen Miss Talley looking. I said, he'll be all right.
He did got on there.
He got a, huh? Oh yeah. I had a lot of liniment at home, so. But anyway, I'd like to wish everybody again,
Mr.
Happy
Chair,
New Year.
can I
and,
make a motion for Joe Liberato that was brought up by the mayor?
Support.
Okay,
Okay.
well, hold on.
For a memorial resolution for Mr. Liberato?
So you making it, Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
And who supported that
Support it.
resolution? Okay. Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Ms. Williams? Yes. Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Like I said, I wish everybody Happy New Year. This is our last councilman meeting this year. Looking forward to a nice next year. I hope everybody be safe and healthy coming back. And let's work together. And the Lions played Saturday. They didn't play Sunday. So, but we're still in it.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you, council.
Thank you.
And again, as our Mayor Pro Tem has said, this is the last council meeting for 2022.
Right.
Congratulations, Mr. Wadsworth.
Thank you.
And want to wish everyone a happy new year and a safe and healthy new year.
Thank you.
2023, new beginnings and a lot to do here in our city. So our next meeting, the first meeting in 2023 will be Tuesday, January 3rd.
All right.
Okay, Tuesday, January 3rd, 2023 will be our next meeting. And with that, a motion to adjourn this meeting, the last
moved.
meeting, is in order.
The motion by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Williams for adjournment. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Williams? Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, we are adjourned. Thank you.